Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and strange TikToks that will make you question reality.
Sounds
Mom,
familiar.
what's up, man?
What are you doing up there?
Looking through people's luggage.
I'm the mascot of an evil corporation.
Get down from there. We have to keep a low profile till we get to Seattle to tell the world of the plot to destroy Springfield.
I don't know if you guys should be
Talking so loud. No, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
Hi, I'm calling about your meat lovers pizza. I like it, but I don't know if I'm ready to love again.
You hang up first.
Oh, you hang up first.
Okay.
She hung up on me.
But we're
The good old days.
fugitives. We should just lay low till we get to Seattle.
Hey, everybody, I found one. The government actually found someone we're looking for. Yeah, baby, yeah.
Look, that tell you a lot right there in that whole clip. One, they spying on us. One, Mickey Mouse is the CEO of an evil corporation. And the government never finds anybody. They just tell you they do.
Wait. Hold up. You mean to tell me that nobody ever knew about Glenn Rogers, the convicted serial killer, and this person was Nicole Simpson's handyman? What? There's even a documentary back in 2012 that he even said he committed the crime of killing Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman.
Wow.
Nobody knew this. Why am I just now finding out about this? Isn't it funny that this is just now coming about and the media, I guess, suppressed it after OJ died? That's very suspicious. They said from the span of 93 to 95, he committed over 60 murders. 60! He was known as the cross-country killer or the Casanova killer, and he was known for killing women. So that explains it all. It's like they intentionally did this because he was never brought up as a witness. He was never brought up as a suspect. Nothing. Goes to show you that nothing is what it seems. So just listening to the media, you can't even believe anything you hear nowadays.
Man, the media and the news is like a big Netflix show.
Did you ever hear about the Grand Canyon theory?
No.
So the Grand Canyon,
Okay.
one of the world's wonders. There's a theory that the Grand Canyon holds something that none of us knew was there. So back in the 1850s, right? Yeah. The Grand Canyon was used to mine gold. When people started mining it, the gold index crashed because they found so much gold there. Mm-hmm. Now what happened was the government and the military, they closed it off and they made it a sanctuary so that nobody can just go there and then take whatever they want. There was this one guy, his name was Seth Tanner, and he was an explorer. He explored this one cave, and he claims what he saw was ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics in one of the caves.
Well, what did it say?
The Grand Canyon, it actually holds the lost city of El Dorado.
What?
Like, you know, the lost gold city of El Dorado.
Yeah, the whole city.
The whole city. So if you think about it, it's never found. That ancient tale that all of the natives talk about, the lost city, and the reason the government and the world is trying to keep it a secret is because it would crash the gold price.
I just had to.
Or they already found it and they just don't want to tell us, and they're getting all the gold out themselves. So then when they do tell us, it ain't gonna be nothing there. It could be one of the two, you know.
This generation is modern day crackheads. Like,
Facts.
think about it.
Big facts.
Like, if you had phones back in the day, right? Back in the crack era, right? Like, in social media, the way you get on the camera be, yo, that big dope, right? Or, you know, showing your alcohol or showing what pill you taking or whatever you're doing, right? Whatever you're doing. Imagine your uncle or your mama, if she was a crackhead, whoever. Imagine they was, got that bag. Yeah, I got like 50,000 people on live right now.
See the little eyeball or something?
Yo, man, I'm gonna be down there. Yeah, bro, you wanna hit this after me? Yeah.
Yo, this is real, man. I can see this happening.
Yeah. That's what we doing. That's what this generation is literally doing. You're taking the drugs on camera. You're getting faded on camera. Just back in the day, the only difference is the drug of choice was crack cocaine. Now we got liquid. Heroin. GMO, fake weed. Fentanyl pills. What's the difference, boy? I'm just saying. Don't shoot the messenger.
I don't know if anybody heard about this story. I'm just now finding out about it. What happened to Christopher G, missing Balenciaga model? Now, Christopher G was his own fashion designer, and apparently Balenciaga stole some of his stuff and made their own designs using his stuff. And he went down there and became a model or whatever. And then he mysteriously went missing. This is Christopher G modeling Balenciaga clothing. Those clothes are crazy. I would never wear that, but...
Never. You know, and that's the problem with society right now, right? Because everyone sees what these people wear on these fashion shows or these models or whatever, and they think that it's okay to just wear that in public. Man, it's okay to wear that on that runway. That's it. That's it. Take some pictures, make it look cool. It's artwork. You ain't supposed to be wearing that to Walmart, man.
His own. Another picture of Christopher G modeling Balenciaga clothing, I assume. Here's where it gets wild. So Christopher G has been missing, right? This is him. But apparently, at one of Balenciaga's stores in Florida, there's a mannequin that looks like Christopher G. I'll show you. Bruh. That looked dead on him. Now people are saying they think they killed Christopher G and made a wax figure out of his body. Like that movie House of Wax from back in the day. I mean, look at the texture of his hair. Look at the ear. Like, bruh. Might be on to something. They even say his hands look super realistic. I don't know. But all I'm gonna say is, something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Is a piece of travertine tile. This person...
Yo. Are y'all seeing what I'm... Is that a jaw? That look like some teeth. That's a jaw. And some oh my gosh. They really be putting people in the concrete? Dang, I guess we got proof.
Posted this because their parents just had travertine tile installed in their home, and they saw that. They're a dentist, and they were like, wait a second. Yeah, that's a mandible, which is this part of your lower jaw. They have a fossil in their travertine tile, the bananas for scale. They also found more fossils based on the expert opinions that people are providing, and they are experts. These are not just random people. They think that that is a collarbone and that that is the top of a femur, which is the big bone in your leg. So of course, everyone was telling this person, you need to post this in the fossils channel because they are going to go crazy. And yeah, they did go crazy. This person has experts reaching out to them now. The person was able to figure out that the travertine did come from Spain. Now, based on what people are saying on how long travertine takes to form, the condition of the fossils, etc., they think that this came from a hominid 200,000 years ago, which basically just means that a very early human 200,000 years ago. I'm hoping that this person will continue to find more fossils in this tile. This is just so interesting to me, and I'm gonna keep following it. I'll let you guys know if they're...
So, when they throw out those numbers like that, right, that always throws me off. They say that comes from 200,000 years ago. 200,000. We can carbon date it. Y'all just started carbon dating things recently. Come on, man. That probably came from 2 years ago. You know, that's a little homie over there in Spain that went missing. Now he up in somebody's tile.
Y'all watch this. So this chick from the Ukraine get hemmed up in Georgia for stealing on the job. But listen to what she says in this phone call.
Charlie 1-1 female in custody. Alright, you got anything? Here, hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Do you have anything? Let me know. She don't speak no English, so. She is talking to me in perfect English right now. Okay, give me 1 second.
So what are you doing? Trying to text her? Or voice translation or something?
Here, 49? Yes, please. It's, key working.
Watch this now, y'all. Here it comes.
You want to call your son?
No, son, please.
You don't want to let him know where you're going?
My husband. No, yes.
He speak English?
No.
No?
She just lied. No.
Check it out now.
Саша, меня забирают в тюрьму за то, что я воровала продукты в Walmart.
The Americans know.
Полицейская машина, меня садят и будет суд.
Walmart infiltration.
Саша, я тебе серьезно сейчас говорю. Когда ты не успеешь, меня сейчас посадят и убьют.
The mission cannot continue now.
Я тебе серьезно говорю, я сейчас здесь стою, у меня забрали.
Follow the procedure and tell them we are compromised.
Ой, я не могу, Саш, все, это просто пиздец. Да, забери, пожалуйста, Богдана и скажи, что Богдан тоже увольнялся, скажи, что просто там... Ну, там, в начале, и все. Ну, короче, все, Саш. Ну, все, Саш, вот так вот, все. Теперь я не знаю, что успокойся, но это ужас, мне стыдно, я дура. Окей. А куда... Where is we go? Address.
I will have to get. I'm not sure what the address is from the top of my head. But once we get down there, you'll be able to write down his phone.
Yo, what do you guys think about that one? So we got undercover people from Ukraine infiltrating the States. I knew it was the infiltration of the States, man. It's the reason they're sending all this money over there, and they basically trying to make the States a horrible place to live in. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make it implode from the inside. The war is already here. It's not coming from some outside forces going to blow America up like they show us in these movies. No, they're going to destroy America from the inside. Easy. Like, how do you take over? You could just take over America by doing that, right? And no one would even know. Put one of your leaders in position, and now they're running and making the decisions for the country, and nothing even changes. They're just in control now.
So you got these stupid ass politicians waving these motherfucking Ukraine flag after sending $95 billion over there. Well, not yet, but they put it in the bill and it got passed and then slid the motherfucking TikTok ban in that same bill. Yet, we over this motherfucker can't afford rent, groceries, gas. You telling women they can't control their bodies and all this other shit. You telling motherfuckers it's illegal to be homeless and shit, but they ain't even got the fucking money to afford a motherfucking apartment because the jobs ain't paying enough out this motherfucker. Y'all got y'all priorities fucked up. Instead of worrying about your own motherfucking country, you worried about another country, and you motherfuckers is funding genocide. Fuck y'all. Y'all need to go where the flames are. And you're banning TikTok, trying to ban TikTok, talking about for security reasons. It ain't because of that motherfucker.
No, it's because of that. You got to think about it though. Who are they trying to secure? It's themselves, right? Not the American people. They're trying to secure their own personal interests, and TikTok goes against that. So that's a national security to the people who are in charge, not to the American people. No, they don't worry about us.
not stupid. Y'all just want to ban this motherfucker because this is where people get the real news from, because we can't get it on Facebook, can't get it on Fox, can't get it on CNN. We don't be knowing what the fuck going on except for this propaganda bullshit that y'all try to feed us every motherfucking day. Dog bullshit. And not only that, you trying to take money out of people's pockets that's making money on TikTok, you sick fucks, knowing that the economy already fucked up. Plus, TikTok brings over $24 billion into this motherfucking country. All these mom and pop shops use TikTok to promote their businesses and all this shit, and y'all still want to take it away, knowing our economy fucked up. Fuck y'all. What about the kids who can't even afford motherfucking lunch at school? What about that, dog? What about all this ST shit going on? What about that, dog? What about the motherfucking border? What about that, dog? Nope. Fuck that. Let's just ban TikTok and send all this money over there. Our American citizens don't need it. Fuck y'all, dog. All you old motherfuckers shouldn't even be in Congress right now. You motherfuckers need a ventilator just to go to sleep at night. You old motherfuckers. Every time we see Mitch McConnell, that motherfucker glitch. He be talking, next thing you motherfucking know, he start shivering and shaking and shit. None of you motherfuckers need to be in office because you're fucking the country up, you sick motherfuckers.
Oh,
dog.
my goodness.
Then you got all these sleep motherfuckers that don't know what the fuck's going on. They don't know about shit. All they worried about is the wrong shit instead of the shit that's going on in this motherfucking country that's affecting all of us. You motherfuckers are asleep and need to wake the fuck up to what the fuck's going on out here, dog. Why they sending all our motherfucking money to another country while we going broke as a motherfucker? Think about that shit, dog. Damn. This shit is done on purpose, dog. They want us to be fucked up, cause ain't no other way to explain it, motherfucker. They want us to be fucked up out here. Because look, why the fuck they letting all these people over here in this motherfucking country, and why in the fuck they letting our economy go to shit, and yet they sending all this money over there? Make it make sense, dog. Peace.
Peace. Are we witnessing the downfall of America?
What will take place? So what exactly is it?
It would be basically implanted in your skull. So, but it would be flush with your skull. So you basically take out a chunk of skull, put the Neuralink device in there. You put the electrode, you'd insert the electrode threads very carefully into the brain, and then you stitch it up, and you wouldn't even know that somebody has it. And then the goal of it is we put a
Former FBI and current CIA official has admitted to an undercover journalist that they do use deep state skullduggery to bring down dissenters.
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do. How? You set them up. Then we call that entrapment. It's a fine line.
I like this guy's body language.
It's a fine line.
It's a fine line. And the fine line is represented by this sort of wiggly fish hand.
Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot? We get as close as we can.
It's like the deep state for children. We get as close as we can.
Hey, in all honesty, that's for the paler skin people that they got to do all that for. If your skin's a little bit darker, they ain't got to do none of that. The line ain't even wiggly. They just throw you in there. You ain't got trial for 2 years. That's crazy.
Like that, what was his name? The one that said Sandy Hook didn't happen. Alex Jones. Yeah, we were after him.
You are? Are you still after him?
Yeah. Why? Because he's broke. He got found guilty and had to pay like $100 million.
That's interesting to hear that the deep state, in conjunction with legacy media and shadowy agencies and organisations, participate in mass media takedowns against public dissenting figures. Stay free. See it first on Rumble.
Hey, if you're a content creator, if you're into this content, man, make sure you got your name cleared up, man. Make sure you're checking off all your P's and Q's, because you see what they do. Man, free Colin Bellamy.
See, like when Diddy fucked Carl Winslow, we was at the party, and we just chilling and shit like that. And me,
when he told me that.
Everybody know me, right? I'm a goofy nigga. I'm funny and stuff like that. So I hear a nigga just wearing out some shit. I'm like, huh? Like hearing that, I'm like, oh, 6-0, who's wearing this bitch out? Right. Nigga, I kick in the door, poof, kick in the door. Nigga, I seen Carl Winslow put a
that's
shit
the
up.
father. Ain't that the father from Family Matters?
Yeah.
No way.
The dad. The dad.
Oh, the dad.
The dad. I swear to God, dad home, neighborhood crib. So when I seen that, and then who was piping Diddy? Yeah, Diddy was. So when I seen that, cuz right, Diddy came back and he was telling me, he was like, it's nothing more enjoyable than having a man do something for some money. I'm like, cuz that shit crazy.
Oh nah, that's wild.
Okay, this, I'm not sure what to say anymore. So Diddy was fucking with Carl, so Winslow? Oh, yeah, 50 Cent.
Cat Williams. He recently pulled a Jaguar right and was just doing a lot of truth telling.
Want to know what's interesting?
Go ahead.
It's Cat Williams that taught me how to be Jaguar right.
Oh, wow, okay. What was it about him that you kind of say, ooh?
10-10. He was my 30th birthday present. Almost 17 years ago. I'll never forget when he walked into the club and I was sitting at my table. It's my birthday party. And Special Ed brought him.
Shout out Special.
And me and Ed were celebrating our birthdays that year for the Taurus Affair that we used to do in Miami Beach every year. And Cat was playing the amphitheater and he wanted to meet me. And he came to my party, gave me about 20 grand in cash and said, consider it a down payment on your time. And Moni Love was there.
Hey, I need to run into Cat Williams. He just throwing out bread like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Can I get a down payment on YouTube? Hey, somebody send Cat Williams one of the videos, man. Tell him I need a down payment on the YouTube or something like that, man.
Cousin Sonny was there. Imrel was outside smoking a blunt, so she missed the infamous picture with all of us together with Cat. And me and him sitting next to each other, two hats on, two cats in the hat.
Yeah.
And he taught me so much in 9 months. Walking away was hard, but it was when the Illuminati first started coming after him. And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house. And I left. You know, back in that moment, Cat was still wearing Kevlar to bed. To bed. I would get in bed with him at night and he would have Kevlar on.
Wow.
In bed.
What was it about that and him at the moment where it made you want to speak your truth?
He went after Comedy Central. That's what happened. The Flavor Flav roast. The moment that I knew the Snoop Dogg is sold out. That was a hurtful moment. I was always grateful to Snoop for taking Corrupt under his wing. Ricky was in a lot of trouble in Philly. If he hadn't signed a dog pan, I don't even know if he would have been alive. I've always been grateful to Snoop for that. Ricky, my brother.
That's real. That is real. So let me... Go ahead.
They wanted Cat to humiliate Flav. Like, humiliate him. Like, no holds barred. And they sent a bunch of good jokes. And I'll never forget watching Cat in the office downstairs at the house in Marina Del Rey. And he's sitting there looking at the fucking script and just shaking his head. And then the next thing you know, the phone rang and I'm standing there in the office in the doorway and I'm like, are you all right? And he picked up the phone and it was Comedy Central. And I listened to him threaten to kill him. He said, I'm not doing this. You are not going to get a black man, a real black man, to agree to do this to another black man. Dollars. It was a terrible day. And then that's when all the incidents started happening. them sending people to the house, them putting plants backstage at the shows. I mean, I was on tour with him for American Hustle.
Right.
I was on set for First Sunday.
Right. He said he got arrested over 30 times.
Yeah.
No convictions.
I'm getting close.
Go ahead. Go.
But it's been about 30 for him. It's been 8 for me.
Yes.
He beat felony. I beat felony. You know, it was just terrible. And when I would think back to that moment, and then they called him the day before filming and asked him was he going to be there, and he said no. And then the next thing you know, production went on later on that day, and Snoop was already ready. And Snoop did everything that Comedy Central asked. That Flavor Flav roast was Cat's. That was his moment. The Flavor Flav roast and the death of Malik B are the same.
Yeah, that's the ignition point.
I don't even know if Flav even has ever thanked Cat. Because he put it all on the line for his respect. Snoop just slid right in. And Cat still talked to Snoop. He never treated Snoop different. He just was, I mean, they were still playing basketball, you know, together. Like, I'll never forget when we was all in Atlanta, when we did the show in Atlanta, and we had got off the plane because we were, you know, flying on his private plane at the time, and, you know, checked into the Ritz-Carlton, and we went to the studio with DJ Drama, and we were writing. I was ghostwriting, because I was going to sign to Cat's label. I was going to be the first female artist. Oh, yeah. That was the day that T.I. roughed up Tiny in the studio, and everybody tried to pretend like it didn't happen except for me.
Yeah, man, how y'all feeling about Jaguar Wright, man? Y'all believe what she's saying? The whole little Kyle Williams thing, man. Kyle Williams a real one, though, if that's the case.
What's good, TikTok? So another thing I've been peeping, we might not have an election. Some of y'all say like, oh, what do you mean, Jeff? We might not have an election. Like, we literally might not have an election. I've never not seen no campaigning around this time. There's no campaigns. There's nobody driving their cars with their little flyers saying vote for XYZ. And another thing I'm looking at is all this conflicts that's going on in the Middle East, especially with what Iran just did. And a lot of people don't know this, but if we go into I can't even say that name either, but a W, y'all should know what I mean. I'm talking about conflict, so put the pieces together.
Not
if
a
we
win.
go into a W, or WW, you know what, then
not WWE.
The president that we have in office stays in office.
Alright, now let me cook. Check this shit out, dog. The first time a basic example of CGI appeared on screen was in 1958 after Alfred Hitchcock hired a computer animation pioneer, John Whitney, to create the opening. Why am I talking about this, dog? Why? Okay, you're about to find out. NASA founded July 29th, 1958 in the United States. How are these two related to each other? Dog, I'll tell you why. Because Neil Armstrong said they never went to the motherfucking moon, allegedly. This video is for educational purposes and comedic relief. Now, I don't think it's just a kawiki dink that both of these things were created and founded the same motherfucking year. Dog, look at the logo of NASA. Yeah, that for damn sure look like a serpent tongue. That's a big fact. I don't give a fuck what you say. And when you translate NASA Into Latin, or vice versa, it means to deceive. Dog, allegedly. Yeah, I don't think that's a motherfucking coinky dink. Now let's get into this gematria. National, 13 plus 26 plus 7 plus 18 plus 12 plus 13 plus 26 plus 15 equals 130. 12. When you add all of those numbers up, dog, it equals 6 motherfucking 6. Now, I ain't talking about 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons, which equals melanin. They talking about some other shit, dog. And everything revolves around numbers. Yeah. So what the fuck is really going on, dog?
The term self-immolation. Not until this. The man who inflicted Crispy Critter status on himself yesterday, well, he left behind a manifesto of sorts. He did not survive the incident. Here are some excerpts, if you will. To understand this story is to see right through the con, to become immune to the endless sea of criminal propaganda, and to feel the great joy and power that comes with freedom. My name is Max Azzarello, and I am an investigative researcher who has had a very intimate barbecue outside the trial in Manhattan. This extreme act of protest is to draw attention to an urgent and important discovery. We are victims of a totalitarian con, and our own government, along with many of their allies, is about to hit us with an apocalyptic fascist world coup. The information that Max left behind is an exhaustive amount of the most conspiratorial information that I have ever read in one place, much of which we've all heard before, in some form or fashion. You will learn the scariest and stupidest story in world history, and you will realize that we are all in a desperate state of emergency that requires your action. To my friends and family, witnesses, and first responders, I am deeply apologize for inflicting this pain upon you. But I assure you that it is a drop in the bucket compared to what our government intends to inflict. Because these words are true, this is an act of revolution. This is Max Azzarello. I'm curious at the authenticity of it all. Did he really feel this way?
You know, that makes sense. That's probably why there's no campaigning. There's not going to be an election because of what that sign says right there. They're working together. Buddy, buddy.
Or, as it turns out, we have a secret kleptocracy. Both parties are run by financial criminals whose only goals are to divide, deceive, and bleed us dry. They divide the public against itself and blame the other party while everything gets worse and more expensive, and a handful of people take all the money. It's quite the message there, Max. I just don't know if ignition was the right way to send it. It's got everybody's attention. What do y'all think? It's the kind of thing that makes you want to drink a little bit, doesn't it? It's just water. It's just water.
Oh, shit! Stop. Yeah, tornado right in front of us. Right in front of us. Yep, there it is. Right in front of us, dude. Big tornado just crossed the road right in front of us. It's sulfur. No, we're good. Go a little further. It's across the road. It's across the road. I told you. Holy cow.
Oh, son, you can kind of see it.
Stop right here. Whoa, big power flashes.
I wouldn't know what to do. I ain't never encountered a tornado. Is this real? Oh, snap. There it go. Straight destruction. Mm-hmm. Look at all that. It's like designs. They just drawn in the sky. And then we get tornadoes and stuff like this. Probably because of that. Man, what y'all doing if y'all see a tornado like that? Y'all running for shelter, or y'all just gonna record it? What if it's really coming your way though?
This is the Olmec ruins of Calcazingo, Mexico. Here are numerous artifacts, step pyramids, mounds, and an Olmec ball court, all in one area. Magnificent masonry is found in this area. But there is one artifact out of the hundreds of artifacts found in this area that is real interesting. This artifact is a maze god depicting a creation story on the murals in this city. Check it out. But this is the one I want to show you. Check this out. Look at this Olmec with the Anunnaki-style pose on a mural in that city. These were originally corn gods. That ideology comes from America. We know the truth now.
America, the true old world. I tried to outrun the tornadoes in my car as the sirens were going off. For all to take shelter, I thought I could beat it, and then it sandwiched me. Yeah, man, I ain't trying to see no tornado at nighttime either. Like, you really can't see nothing. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna probably stay in the car. Record through the window. That's just me.
This is Michelle Reyes and her daughter. And yesterday they were on a flight in New York. And she reportedly captured a object in the sky that looked like a motherfucking UFO. Unidentified flying object. Dog. Now, I'm about to show you this motherfucking footage. You tell me what you think. Look at that shit.
Whoa.
Look at this shit. What do y'all think? I don't think that's blue beam, dog.
What y'all think that is? That's definitely like, it's not like no regular aircraft that we would see. It's not like no regular passenger plane or anything like that. So what could it be?
That don't look like no motherfucking airplane. That don't look like no motherfucking bird. Dog. That motherfucker looking like a spaceship. Yeah. That's a big fact. And that motherfucker was moving fast as a motherfucker too. Now, I ain't gonna motherfucking hold you. If they are here, well, we know they're here, but if they gonna be doing shit like this, dog, just flying around, motherfucker, just show yourself. Please. You see it's fucked up shit going on out here. Take away these evil motherfuckers or something. Go zap a motherfucker. Do something. Damn. Stop just watching us. Stop. See that motherfucker right there? Looking like a spaceship to me. You know they keep showing the little videos of shit look like little Tic Tacs. That motherfucker look like that right there, dog. That's a big fact. Michelle Reyes, thank you for filming out your motherfucking window, dog. That's a big fact. Cause man, see, everything's fucking coming out right now. It is insane. We got motherfucking volcanoes shooting out gold dust and shit. Big ass blobs in the ocean. Spaceships flying around. Them sending money out all the way over there. Our country going to shit. And these UFOs flying around. Motherfucker, I know y'all see what the fuck going on down here. Come and interject in some shit. Please. You motherfuckers got all the technology. How about you make a motherfucker disappear or some shit? Put a cloak on a motherfucker. Do something, dog. Had to pause the motherfucking video. Helicopters flying around and shit. Somebody must have did something, dog, or a motherfucker got hurt. All I know is that shit loud as a motherfucker. But these motherfucking spaceships, dog, they all in different type of paintings, old ass paintings. Yeah. The book of Ezekiel and shit like that. They all over the place, dog. They been here for a long motherfucking time. And you can't deny it either. Yeah. It just took these motherfuckers so long for the government to tell us, yeah, dog, we got UFOs. Motherfucker, we already knew that. Y'all just waited to show us because y'all know all this fucked up shit was about to happen that y'all planned, and y'all just want to distract us, motherfucker. We already knew that aliens and UFOs existed, motherfucker. It's hieroglyphs and all types of shit of aliens, dog. And some of you motherfuckers aliens too. I ain't stupid, motherfucker. I know you are. That's a big fact. That's why y'all keep digging up on the ground and shit trying to find species and shit like that, and who is these Egyptians and all this shit, cause you motherfuckers trying to find yourself. Ooh, are we under the ground? Was we here? Motherfucker, y'all came to this motherfucking planet, took over this motherfucking planet, dog. I know my shit, but I don't want to get too motherfucking crazy, cause they might clip my shit, and then some of you stupid sleep motherfuckers gonna try to think a motherfucker need a tinfoil hat, but you got me fucked up out here, dog. Aliens are real. UFOs are motherfucking real. And they always been here, dog. Peace.
Can y'all guess what word he likes to use the most? Man.
That's okay. It's just getting funneled in.
Yeah.
That's a crazy tornado right there.
Think we can make it ahead of it? Just kidding. That's a joke. Don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try that. You crazy.
Only joking. Ooh.
Look at stuff flying across the street. Oh, nah. I would have been stopped.
Oh, watch out for that.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like a twister.
Oh, wow. It's just insulation. Just took out that house. Woo, you only took out my... Yeah.
Shout out to the storm chasers, because I could never.
They don't want that. No, you're good. I can't get the whole thing in the camera. It's so big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is incredible. This is absolutely insane. And it's gonna go forever. It's gonna keep going. There's no storms in its path that are gonna interfere with it.
Look at that crazy tornado. Dang. That was wild.
So we're back for episode 2 of We're Living in a Simulation. You know what else? tells me that we're living in a simulation. These big ass expensive car washes. You're telling me that for $5 you're gonna use 100 gallons of water, and there's no one here except for me. I did pay my $5. There's a guy they're paying to fix their shit for $5. How many gallons of water are we using? Their electricity is on 24/7. I guess it shuts off at night. But what is this? It's like a $3 to $5 million building. Water. Their water bill is probably more than my mortgage. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's not real. It's not real.
You know, the mubs is popping up left and right.
These are murals from a high priest in Egypt named Userhat. This priest had a lot of connections with America. This is a statue of Userhat. Check this out. Userhat with his wife and mother surrounded by the sycamore tree. Userhat, his wife Hatshepsut, who was also a cocaine mummy, and his mother surrounded by sycamore trees. The sycamore tree is native to North America. And as you see at the bottom, it was brought to Europe in the 17th century. This is a mural of Userhat with jaguar puppies. Jaguars are native to North America. And also, he was wearing a feather, and the women around him are wearing jaguar skins. But this takes the cake. Look at the American flag style symbolism on the boat, on the mural, in his tomb.
That's crazy.
Where did they get that ideology from? We know the truth now.
That is crazy. You know, my thoughts on it, right, is that a lot of this stuff in Egypt, right, I think it was taken from America, right? They don't say anything about us. You know, anytime somebody back in the days would report, you know, of finding something, they would say the Smithsonian will come in, take everything away, and that's the last they'd hear of it, right? So they probably took this stuff away, took it somewhere else, and then say they found it in Egypt, right? But really they found it here in America. Basically meaning that America is the old Egypt.
Emerald Brush 214 to EOC. I have a tornado on the ground. It's going to be south of Marietta.
They're advising it's still on the ground in
That's why I can't
Marietta,
be no truck driver.
north of Marietta.
Tornadoes on the ground just south of Sulphur, moving north at 35 miles per hour. While you need to take evacuation precautions in the Sulphur, Hickory, and Lake of the Arbuckles area. Again, large tornado confirmed on the ground, moving north just south of Sulphur.
149, they're advising that the hospital down there has also been hit and has suffered damage, unknown amount of damage at this time.
Okay, I'm leaving 976 residents. We're headed that way.
Send fire our way. We got somebody trapped in one of these houses down here.
Hey, just be advised, all of downtown Sulphur is destroyed.
Dang.
Union 4. The three houses
all
on
of
Pacific Street
downtown
between 240 and 236 all appear to have been destroyed, but are all believed to be unoccupied at the moment. Where else can I start?
Hey you still think Mars is 140 million miles away? You also think they landed a Mars rover on Mars? Interesting. Well, if you don't want that ruined for you, keep scrolling. But for starts, this is what they're saying Mars' surface looks like. I looked up this place called Devon Island, and the surfaces are kind of the same. You are not going to believe me, but this is one of the first pictures that popped up on my search engine about Devon Island. So what I did, I decided to go to Google Earth and type in this place called Devon Island because it seemed real suspicious, and you are not going to believe what I found. So you could do this yourself. Just go to Google Earth, type in Devon Island. All right, bring this up. Alright, hit Street View. Zooming in. Alright. Just scoping it out. Four-wheelers. What is that? A NASA symbol? NASA? What? What in the... Mars 1? Moon 1? What in the... Well, guys, Mars is not that far. It's in Canada. Well, that wasn't enough for you. Check this out. NASA. What? Mars Institute. Right in your face, guys. Like, seriously, guys. The rocks are in the same place. Yeah, wind erosion. Like. But did you guys know this book, Project Mars, written by Dr. Wernher von Braun, the father of NASA, in 1953, wrote about a guy named Elon that would colonize Mars? Come on, guys. Reality, NASA. And of course, all this was for entertainment purposes only. Of course, Mars is 140 million miles away. And of course, they landed a Mars rover on Mars. And that's not a rat. That's a rock that looks like a rat.
That's crazy, man. Do y'all still think Mars is way out there?
There's no fossils of dragons is because they had bird bones and they were actually very delicate animals. But a handful of these a small population of these giant flying lizards existed and basically encompassed all these different countries where they all depicted fighting dragons in their own way, and they were all killed off by, you know, knights or whatever it is, and then didn't fossilize. So it's like the science is saying that if there were lizards big enough to fly around and eat people, they didn't have bones that could fossilize.
So it'd be like an eagle.
Right. And that's why, you know, that's why all these human populations around the world have depictions of them, because they did actually exist. And we know there were large flying lizards during the times of dinosaurs, right? The only weight that it could possibly hold is that like a few of those somehow survived much later than we previously thought. But do I think that there were dragons attacking human beings and civilizations? No, I don't. But it's still interesting.
It's so much cooler if there were.
Right.
And like the fact that we know that pterodactyls did exist, that's cool.
Right.
It would be way cooler.
Hey, I think pterodactyls still exist, like till this day in certain places. There's like pictures of people with pterodactyls that were hunting pterodactyls, and dragons probably did exist at some point in time. Like they said, there's old depictions of dragons, you know, and it's just a little bit strange. You know, you see the old depictions and you say, I still don't believe it, but it is interesting.
Murdoch teaches his congregation.
They're afraid because we don't fear them any longer. They're afraid because they have failed us. Whenever you talk about UFO or extraterrestrial involvement, they bug out. They panic because it says that they're not in control. It says there might be a benevolent or malevolent force that is greater than them. That their beings might be coming here from other galaxies or other planets. So they say, oh, that's hogwash. Right? And then they spend $1 billion on a project called SETI. Oh, ain't no extraterrestrials. We just going to go to Puerto Rico and we're going to build the biggest satellite in the world and watch anyway for 25 years. But there's no such thing as flying saucers. That's crazy. Ain't no such thing as extraterrestrials. We just going to sit here and watch day and night and listen every day, every hour to see if we can get a voice. We're going to send up messages to outer space. Every year they send a new package to outer space. But SETI or the Pentagon says what? When you say there's UFOs, or extraterrestrial. You mean little green men? What's the psychology behind little green men? Simply, they breathe differently. A whole lot of Nuwapian kids are born green, with green spots for blood circulation and oxygen, because they breathe differently. And as they get older, the green spot fades away. You follow? As they take in the iron in their body, it rusts and changes their skin complexions. These are real, but they can't tell people the real thing. They can't tell you the truth. Because if they tell you the truth, you'll no longer fear them. And what they have over you is fear. You really think, like mommy and daddy, that the white man got it together. Every year, the ancient ones reveal to you your superiority. I was watching.
Look at that streak across the sky, y'all. It's 2:48 in the morning. What the fuck is that?
What is that? That is crazy.
Across the sky here.
Like, it's like someone's opening the sky real quick, you know, and it's like, oh, it's blue again, and then they about to close it.
At 2:48 a.m. I'm just getting home from my gig at Swig. And I noticed this up in the sky. I'm like,
That's
I ain't
crazy.
never seen nothing like that. No rainbow, nothing like that in the sky at night. In the early morning, wee hours of the morning. What the fuck is that? Okay, y'all. Feedback? Tell me what's going on. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Okay, y'all? Okay. I'm gonna go back to my car and get my ass home. But yeah, that's what's going on in the night sky here. I hear Parker said early in the morning. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got that on film. What the fuck is that?
Man, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep. How many tornadoes was it? Yeah, man, keep them tornadoes away from
Alright,
me.
you guys, update on the tornado damage in Marietta, Oklahoma. I'm sorry it's taken me so long, but I had to rest. I had to decompress after I got home from the airport. Like, this is a lot. This is a lot to deal with. Okay, this was our Valero. Look at the semis just on top of each other. This is insane. This is the first time I'm seeing this. This is my grocery store. This is Homeland. This is Dollar General, or it was. There are police everywhere, so I cannot get close. That was the Homeland.
Dang.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
gone.
That was Homeland. Oh my gosh. Like, that was our grocery store. And then there's the nursing home over there. And it like blew a part of that off as well. Y'all, that was the Dollar General. Like, that used to be the Dollar General. And
Not
it's
no more.
There's nothing left. Oh my gosh. Look at everything. Y'all, look at that car and then look at this. It's just on its side. A camper trailer, just on its side. Just tornado picked it up, threw it down. Okay, there's two houses in between this house and my house. Look at all of the debris. Okay, now we're at my house. There's two houses in between that house and our house. That is scary. Okay, this was our privacy fence, so it's down. This is part of our roof, but instead of it being on the roof, it's in our front yard. And then over here, we had 3 pine trees, and now we just have 2 because that one is a goner. She's done. Like, seeing all that for the first time, like, I'm physically sick. Sick to my stomach to think, like, if I need bread or almond milk or creamer or cuties for the grandbabies, like, I don't have a place I can go and get that. This is so heartbreaking.
Dang. See that trailer?
train coming in.
Going forward.
10-4.
Power lines might come down.
Call from Family Matters died too, but now it's doing commercials. And I watched the Flintstones, and Dino is blue. You mean Carl Winslow, the daddy? Yeah, he died years ago. Like, years ago. Well, let's go see.
It's a great idea, TV Dad. But I said the exact same thing.
Someday when you're a father, you'll understand.
I'm his father.
It's not a competition. Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $700 on average. Exactly. You need more fatherly wisdom? Click over here to watch more videos.
Yeah, click back over here to this video to me. What the fuck was, you know what? I ain't even gonna do this with y'all. And you said Dino is blue on the Flintstones? I don't see no blue Dino, but what the fuck is this? Why does it say Flintstones? Where is that T coming from? It was always Flintstone. Can y'all just yabba dabba do my ass?
Hey everybody, I just made a video of the sun kind of flashing. Now I want you guys to watch this.
Every 4 seconds, huh?
Now I'm going to use my welding shield. And we're going to watch the sun. Now let's count in between those flashes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's consistent. Every 4 seconds. Why is the sun flashing like this? Is this even our sun?
Yeah, what is that?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know what I mean? It's consistent. Like and share. What is going on? I noticed before the eclipse, I was on a phone call with my buddy and I was like, you notice anything different with sunlight? It just seemed a little different. And even today, it's a beautiful sunny day. And surprisingly, not a chemtrail in sight. Which is a good...
What is going on with the sun? I'm about to get a
and look
mask.
at this. If we can, yeah, let's start telestrating over and showing you Brett Adair. This is now in Harlan, Iowa. We were showing you that city. It was just to the west of there. Look at this. This thing right here that you're witnessing in front of you is a tornado. I know it's tough to even fathom. While talking to Corey, look at by the way, in the foreground, the wind speed. You see this SUV that's kicking up the water. If we can drop the banner, team, real quickly. Destructive tornado is tearing through Nebraska. Look at how fast the wind is spitting that off the road. That's speaking to the violent nature this far removed from the tornado. Imagine being in that tornado, though, and what's ahead of this.
Steve, look at that tree ahead of that car and how it's leaning.
It's just snapped, right, to the side. Ken, I don't know even how to talk about this right now. We're looking at this on telly. This right here is showing you how wide. So it goes from here to here. All of this in between is a tornado, a wedge tornado that is coming down as of right now. And as we zoom in, look at this. This is showing you that inflow and how the wind is just getting sucked in like a vacuum. I mean, I've never seen anything this large before. And it's tough to fathom that this would be classified as a tornado. I mean, it's much larger. You think, when we had this estimated before, 3 to 4 miles, you can tell the traffic has stopped here. Everybody has been forced to stop. They do not want to get any closer to this because of the intensity of the wind. Notice the debris right here. This is why they're stopping, is because the debris that this has already caused, and it's raking it across the road and spitting it through. I want you to look right in here. This is in the mid levels of the atmosphere, just showing you how fast the wind is wrapping around and circulating around this. Again, you can witness as this SUV pulls ahead.
Yeah, that's a crazy tornado, y'all.
The highest individual there at the Vatican.
What makes you think that?
A lot of individuals have studied this very extensively, and I'm somewhat one of them that believes that even presidents and the Pope are all just puppets. I think that things are changing in a way that they haven't really been before. We haven't had all this technology and all these things, and eventually information is going to get out enough, that 1% we talked about, to shift that collective.
What does that do?
What happens is, imagine humanity is like a singular organism. It's in terms of consciousness. And we have what's called a collective consciousness. It means that we all live in a reality together, right? And we share ideas, but there's this driving direction of humanity based on the average amount of people that believe in something similar. The average person goes to work and gets up, pays their bills, and I think that whole thing, though, is shifting. I think we should stop comparing to what hasn't happened before. Like, the Vatican Archives hasn't released anything, and they're powerful and...
Wait, what is this? Hey, that looked like a wave or something at first. Man, y'all think they out here really like controlling and like making tornadoes in certain areas to intentionally destroy certain places? It's possible. Man, when I was a kid, right, I used to always tell myself, if I ever see a tornado, I'm going to just run up to the bottom of it, and I'm going to grab it like Hercules and spin it around and throw it away. Yeah, right. I would not even get close to one. That's crazy.
This is the Grand Canyon. See, I supposed to shrunk it, bro. Let me show y'all something. Let me shrink that right quick. Y'all hold tight. Y'all hold tight. Let me shrink that. Y'all roll the corn while I'm gone. Roll the corn. I'll be right. Check this out, y'all. This is the Grand Canyon. This the Grand Canyon. The same fucking, that's the bow and arrow going that way. This is a ranch belt right here. It's Mintaka, Analim, or Anatok. It's three temples right there. The Temple of Isis is right here. Mm-hmm. The Tower of Set is still making the fucking, look. It's still making the same fucking layout. Look. Look at that. Now look at this. It's the same shit, man. We know the truth now.
Y'all think there was a way to get energy from the stars back in the day?
I can't believe they talking about there's a fucking mountain called Mount Erebus or whatever the fuck in Antarctica, and that motherfucker is spilling gold rain, dog. 80 grams of gold dust?
Y'all trying to catch a flight here to Antarctica? You know what I'm saying? Trying to get some gold real quick? That's crazy. It's raining gold.
$6,000 a day. That's motherfucking weird. And now we know why they don't want us to go to motherfucking Antarctica. You got motherfucking volcanoes erupting of gold, dog. Man, ain't no telling what the fuck's going on. I know y'all seen that motherfucking blob video that ain't going around that I showed y'all a couple weeks ago after the eclipse, that shit in the motherfucking ocean over there by motherfucking Antarctica. I think this shit might coincide with each other, dog, because that's creepy as a motherfucker.
And they probably low-key out there mining Antarctica right now, and that's why can't nobody go out there, or they're trying to. You know, they probably found something, and they're trying to get as much of it as they can before anybody knows. So then when people are able to go there, they won't know what was really there in the first place.
They said it's doing it every day. This active volcano been shooting out gold. Now, gold is a motherfucking jewel, dog. There's a lot of shit you can do with gold. And there was a theory about the Anunnaki coming to this planet for monotonic gold for their atmosphere, dog. But I must say this. If I was in motherfucking Antarctica and that motherfucking volcano start shooting gold dust every motherfucking where, I may get a shit ton of buckets and collect every motherfucking thing, dog. That's a big fact. Now, you know, whoever owned this shit, man, they getting a lot of motherfucking paper, and ain't no telling how many other volcanoes is doing this shit too. And explain to me how the fuck this is even possible, dog. There's so many wonders of this motherfucking world we don't know about. What the fuck would you do if you came across the volcano erupting gold? Not lava. You motherfuckers need to go inside that motherfucker. I'm sure y'all already been inside the volcano. Ain't no way in no motherfucking hell a volcano shooting gold dust, motherfucker, and y'all ain't doing nothing with it. That's a big fact. I'm sure y'all drilling like a motherfucker over there in Antarctica for this motherfucking gold, dog. That's a big fact. Let a brother get some of that. Let a brother get some of that motherfucking gold, dog. I needs it. That's a big fact. As you can see,
you got a little gold, man.
I love motherfucking gold. I like the way it look on my melanated skin, dog. I love gold. You can keep all that platinum shit. I'm cool on that shit. Give me some motherfucking gold. I don't want it bust down or nothing, just solid gold. My favorite rings is motherfucking golden nuggets. I got one, dog. Best believe that. And I love it. Now, if I come across some gold shooting out the motherfucking sky, dog, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna keep this shit a secret for quite a bit until I can collect me enough to get the fuck on up out of here. But after that, I'll tell y'all. These motherfuckers, they been knew about this gold and they wasn't saying a motherfucking thing. I can't even believe this shit is on the news. I can't believe they even told us about this shit, dog. But it been happening and they just now telling us. So you know what that mean. There's a lot more. There's a lot motherfucking more, dog. Peace.
You know what I find really interesting about this whole TikTok ban, which first of all, people, someone else will buy the app. It's going to be fine. But now people are finally saying that they won't vote for Biden because of the whole TikTok ban. Like, this was the thing that broke your vote. None of the other stuff that he's done swayed you. Just happened to be the TikTok ban. Not inflation, not all these different wars, not that he pretty much wears a diaper. The TikTok ban was it. To me, that just shows how spoiled and privileged a lot of Americans are, that is their number one priority. I also just think this was a sort of way of people just finding a reason to just not vote for Biden. And if that means a TikTok ban, then people will say that. We all know that people don't want to vote for Joe, but they want a specific reason as to why. So, nothing else. No world events that have swayed their vote. It's an app that plays videos.
These motherfuckers in Iowa, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Where else? What other states got tornadoes?
All around the world, we see evidence of humongous, giant trees that have been cut down. I mean, we see this evidence and we're like, that's a mountain. Oh, no. That's not a saw from a giant where they cut down a giant tree. Nothing like that, no. No, those are mountains. But did the Bible tell us exactly when these trees were alive and when they were destroyed? Open your doors, Lebanon, so that fire may devour your cedars. Wail, you juniper, for the cedar has fallen. The stately trees are ruined. Wail, oaks of Bashan. The dense forest has been cut down. Listen to the wail of the shepherds. Their rich pastures are destroyed. Listen to the roar of the lions. The lush thicket of the Jordan is ruined. Zechariah 11:1-3. So maybe those trees really were real. Maybe those giant trees really were giant, and they were destroyed by some giants. Or maybe they were destroyed by God. We'll never know, will we? But the mystery carries on, and so do we. Follow for more as long as you can. Let me know what you think below.
The U.S. government just released, apparently by accident, the Project Aqua stuff. Did you see this?
No. What's that? Retrieving data across dimensional space-time, develop remote viewing comms and countermeasures, determine baseline for physical transport across dimensional space-time barrier, rapid response medical teams for UFO interaction events. So how did they do this accidentally? Study conscious interactions with and control of technology.
So I got this from someone in the U.S. government who's well, look, let me just start by saying that, I don't know anything. But he sent me this. The above is 100% legit. I was read into this program but told never to tell anyone. It's now been released. As you can see, it began as a result of my old program, AATIP. I signed a document saying I would never talk about Kona Blue and similar efforts. I can't believe the AARO would have released it. Look,
Yeah.
I mean, here's what we do know, is that there's enough going on in the skies, but not just the skies, underwater, that the U.S. military has been forced to respond to it. So, like, move aircraft from one place to another because there are too many of these objects in the sky. That's actually happened. Chris Mellon just wrote a long piece about it. So it's real. The government is not controlling it. In fact, it's forcing the government, DOD, to respond. And we know that there is a real effort, and has been underway for a long time, to keep the public from knowing about it. But that's all known. That's established. I don't think any rational person would deny that. The question is, like, what is it, actually? I mean, now is sort of the point where you have to ask, like, what is this?
What y'all think it is? What's going on? Dang, this the aftermath? Them look like some nice houses, too. I mean, it don't matter if your house is nice or not.
That roof is off.
Still. Ooh-wee. That's crazy.
Perdón que te corte, Dante, discúlpame. Tenemos un objeto muy grande que se va desplazando por debajo de la luna a unos
casi
20 grados de altitud. No, va muy cerquita del cerro. Sí, sí, Dante, afirmativo, porque va muy al ras del cerro de acá de la montaña. Muy grande. Estamos esperando a ver si podemos ver si se le ve algún destello, algo, porque pensamos que puede ser un avión, pero es muy grande la luz.
Ahí apareció el otro.
3 son, mirá.
3.
No.
Qué bonito.
You trying to get their attention or something? What's that?
Hermoso, gracias, hermosa.
Fantástico, gracias. Wow, papá, qué hermoso. Ahí se paró. Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh!
They was communicating, y'all. Did y'all see that?
We are reliving the year 1994. It's just a whole nother cycle.
It's about the Knicks, right?
Yep. In 1994, the Knicks were in the number 2 seed.
Yep.
and they made it to the NBA Finals. In 2024, what seed are we? The 2nd seed. So
free Julius Randle, bruh.
But I also got some more. So in 1994, the New York Rangers, number 1 overall seed, and they won the Stanley Cup. This year, they're the number 1 overall seed, but the Stanley Cup just started. In 1994, there was an earthquake in New York. In 2024, there was an earthquake in New York. In 1994, the Detroit Pistons were one of the worst teams in the NBA. 2004, the Detroit Pistons are one of the worst teams in the NBA. The Washington Commanders in 1994 had 13 losses. In 2024, they had 13 losses. In 1994, that's when O.J. Simpson was going around in the Bronco.
Oh, they say, yeah.
Now in 2024, O.J. Simpson died.
Rest in peace of Juice.
So if the Knicks go to the finals, you will see no regulars over there with the prop table and the mics, and we are going to talk to fans.
Yeah, I might be in the game. I don't know what he talking about.
He said, I'm finna go to the game. That is crazy, though.
For this, a military veteran arrested for feeding the homeless in Dayton, Ohio.
Police arrested a veteran, an organizer with Nourish Our Neighbors, who gave food to a poor person.
I cannot stress enough. A veteran was arrested for handing someone a burrito.
2 burritos. John M. Zimmerman.
Officer John M. Zimmerman.
Officer J. M. Zimmerman arrested a veteran who also happens to be my husband of 6 years for handing our beloved community member, Johnny, 2 burritos. I cannot imagine the shame and guilt you must all feel for letting a man get arrested for showing a basic act of kindness. I know that you know this is a really big mistake. I know that Zimmerman knows this is a really big mistake because while his personal desire was to haul my husband to jail and make him stay overnight and pay $500 in fines, magically my husband was let out of the cruiser.
Free food is not a crime.
City Ordinance 137-21 is
Section 137.21.
City Ordinance 137-21, the direct reflection of the criminalization of the unhoused and a direct reflection of the criminalization of those who want to help. Does the city of Dayton really want to enforce unjust and unconstitutional laws?
We demand the prompt repeal of Section 137.21 of the Municipal Code regarding preparing and distributing food in public places within the central area of the city. It forces those who would help the most destitute in our area to leap through their armpits in various ways, coughing up $50 every time they want to conduct a free distribution, with no guarantee that the city will permit it, nor is the city required to refund the $50.
It's crazy that you guys will have us pay to do something that you won't do.
Section G of this ordinance telegraphs to me the major motivation for it. It states, quote, "This section does not apply to any person issued a food vendor's permit or license by the Montgomery County Combined Health District." There you have it. The city of Dayton cannot tolerate charitable souls interfering with the private sector.
We shouldn't have to be out here as people who can barely make ourselves paying for all these people as well when you guys have the money.
I am building up my community and picking up all of your slack. The need for our unhoused neighbors to be taken care of and given essential items comes directly from the negligence of every single one of you up there. I know for y'all money triumphs all, but for so many of us, community is everything. You are stripping us of that. Every day I find new reasons to feel shame and sadness that I call the Gym City home when the poorest of us can't even build community. What everyone here, including the officers present at the square, fail to realize is that the community is my family. This city claims to be a human rights city, but will arrest you for feeding a stranger for free. What a joke.
To quote Adrienne Reek, if you are trying to transform a brutalized society into one where people can live in dignity and hope, you begin with empowering of the most powerless. You build from the ground up, and that is exactly what our mutual aid efforts are, empowering those who are abused and ignored by the systems in place that you all uphold.
Do the right thing. Stand with the people.
Power and liberation to the people. Thank you.
That ain't gonna happen. Everything that they complaining about, the people they talking about don't care about the homeless. They'd rather them just starve, croak over, and get them up out of here. That's all they care about. Don't feed them. Don't enable them. We don't want them on our front doorsteps. Ew. So you got to think about that aspect of it too. Who's really in charge and who's running these things? You know, it's not really about community anymore. It's about these people wanting to, protect themselves in a way, in their own interests. But that is crazy, though. You get arrested for giving a man some free food. Hey, next time I see somebody begging for food, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Can't do it. I'm not trying to go to jail. My bad.
To that company, and this is how they repay me. With a free stapler and a kick in the designer pantsuit. All those unethical business practices, those shady backdoor deals I did. I know where the bodies are buried.
Why would she say that? What a weird thing to put in a cartoon.
Yo, let me find out Angelica's mom was the hitman or something like that, yo. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? The real diva, huh? Oh, it's from Hindu.
Do y'all think it's fishy? Just a little bit fishy. We're in the year 2024, okay? Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, right? That's the saying. That's what they say. Well, there's a theory going around that that's not exactly what happened, and Columbus is, in fact, a made-up character. Yes, to change his story around to be his story instead of actual history. What I find is crazy is that nobody wanted to sail across that ocean before 1492? Like nobody?
Listen to what she's saying. That's a long time in terms of history. And that 1492 number, that's just a new date. They just started a new date from that, you know. So there was years before that. And nobody wanted to cross that ocean. Everyone was just on that side. They was all just in Europe and then Africa and then Asia. No one was over here. Does it make sense?
Nobody was like, hey, y'all, we should just send a boat over there in like the 300s. I mean, Vikings have been sailing the ocean blue for centuries, so why didn't they go over to America? How did it not happen until 1492, y'all? That's less than 600 years ago. What is that, 12 generations? 10 generations ago? And then, like, when they found the place, there wasn't that many people that wanted to come and, like, inhabit it. And when they did find the place, how could they be like, oh, we found the place, when there was already a civilization here? Like, there was already a civilization living here with cities and all kind of shit, right? But they were like, it was us. We discovered it. I'm not so sure about that. I think that Columbus sailed the ocean blue a little bit longer than before 1492. And if you look at some of these maps that originate well before 1492, you'll see that Antarctica is on there. Not frozen as well. They have pictures that depict like valleys and mountains and a tropical terrain and like animals that live there and stuff and the people that live there. So how did they not discover Antarctica until what was like the 1700s or something? I don't know. That's a little fishy to me. And then they took a whole continent, Australia, and decided that whole entire continent was going to be a prison continent. Like, how did they have so many prisoners? And that feeds into the theory of like all these orphans that came over in the 18 and 1900s that didn't have any parents, and we had so many orphanages. But where did their parents go? What if they were sent to Australia? Because how did we have so many people doing so many things bad that you had to ship them all off to an actual whole entire other continent? Not another island, not a prison, a whole continent was a prison continent. Y'all, this shit don't sound right.
Not to mention that when they got there, they killed every person, almost every person on the whole island. You know what I'm saying? The whole continent. It's crazy. Look it up.
We go through school numbly, just numbly believing this stuff. Numbingly believing shit. Just like, okay, why? Because we were on this memorization schedule. As long as you memorize the right answer for that test, for that sentence, you got it right and you got straight A's. Never mind the people who were, you know, imagining other worlds in their minds during that test. You know, like, never mind them. They're the ones that have ADD. We need to give them a pill. Y'all, the world has gone crazy. Make sure that your children are questioning things, questioning their teachers, questioning us about this shit. Like, question it yourself. Don't believe everything so blindly. We were brainwashed to just believe people. Just believe these books. Just believe shit. Never question it. Because if you question it, you got in trouble. You know, fall in line with the others. Get back in line. Keep quiet. Don't question me. I know more than you. I went to college where I was indoctrinated, you know. I'm just saying question everything, friends. That's how we get forward in life. And history is only that. His story. Follow for more as long as you can.
Listen, I tell my kids, hey, question everything. But don't question me. Straight up. They're supposed to be in space. Oh, man. Oh, God. The flap is flapping. Just get down here, Bob. I'm trying. Can't close it. I don't know if it's the laughing or the video.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any. You can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars. I don't remember seeing any.
I was doing some research on
Somebody
the New York
lying.
City subway stations, and it's interesting because they said that the subway stations were founded in 1904 and they opened in 1905.
Found it. Think about that word. Found it. Hey, I found it in 1904. And I opened it in 1905. I didn't build it. I found it.
So they were found, that's what founded means. They were found in 1904 and they opened 1 year later. They didn't build them. They just took ownership of these tunnels that are deep underneath New York City. And it's interesting because when you look at all of these tunnels, you sit there and think, okay, you go up above on the street, you got horse and wagon and all this stuff roaming around, but you're building these massive tunnels cutting through the earth. Take a perfect example. Go outside, get a shovel, and see how far you can go in the earth. Especially in a time around the 1900s where it's very challenging to do that. There's no construction photos. There's just like 4 people standing in front of a tunnel saying that we built it. You would think if you did the first subway ever that people are blown away that they could go in, you'd have photos galore. But you only have one photo of 4 people standing in front of a tunnel saying that you found or founded the tunnels of New York City.
Yeah, man, I wonder what the subways or the tunnels are in New York City. Like, I wonder how far down it goes, you know? Like, is that the top of something? You know, is there more levels underneath? Or what it was really created for back in the day? Because, actually, there's another video I seen, too, about the tunnels. And they were talking about how they put all this dirt in a certain spot, you know, and how, man, it just didn't make sense at all. I'm going to have to try to find that video for you guys.
You have mentioned that there's interdimensional potential. Could you expound on that?
And then in terms of multidimensionality, that kind of thing, the framework that I'm familiar with, for example, is something called the holographic principle. It derives itself from general relativity and quantum mechanics, and that is, if you want to imagine a 3D object such as yourself casting a shadow onto a 2D surface, that's the holographic principle. So you can be projected, quasi-projected from higher dimensional space to lower dimensional. It's a scientific trope that you can actually cross, literally, as far as I understand, but there's probably guys or PhDs that we could probably argue about that.
But you have not seen any documentation that that's what's occurring.
Only a theoretical framework discussion. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, buckle up. I started eating somebody up, and then it all clicked in my mind real quick. Parthenogenesis is the story of Genesis. Literally, they are literally telling you the story of how the Eve gene mutated and was creating children, self-ether, non-ether beings through the process of parthenogenesis. Really look at Genesis. God created these things? No. They literally told you the cycles of getting implanted and literally creating a child inside of her body. I can't do it. Think about it. The seventh day, the Sabbath day, they're talking about a menstrual cycle. They're literally talking about from ovulation, the sun, the circling, the going around. It's a full circle of ovulation. And then if you think about it, all the calendars and 28 days that connect into our cycles, the 13 freaking spots on a turtle. The Bible is literally a story about women going through parthenogenesis and what they did and how they sacrificed the sons and the daughters, which is how they put the bronze feet on the cross. The cross, Jesus wasn't one person, or even a man at that. And then they tell you a story about the Garden of Eden, and then you realize that Antarctica is the Garden of Eden. It's the actual Garden of Eden where 2/3 of the water.
That was crazy, y'all. I just thought about it. I'm reacting to him, reacting to them. And she was reacting to her. It's just a big reaction.
So long, suckers. They uncovered the truth.
See? That's crazy.
Same old space, huh, Dad?
Yep. Jealous?
Well, no, we've got the same chair.
You're jealous.
Your membership pack.
What's it?
You put that sticker on your car so you won't get any tickets. And this other one keeps paramedics from stealing your wallet while we're working on you.
Oh, and don't bother calling 911 anymore. Here's the real number.
Ooh, wow.
Who controls the British crown? Who keeps the metric system down? We do. We do.
Who leaves Atlantis off the maps?
Who keeps the Martians under wraps?
We do.
The untold truth about
that
the
was
moon.
crazy.
Now, for the people who don't know, the sun represents masculine energy and the moon represents feminine energy. If you didn't know that by now, now you know. The whole entire universe is inside of you, bro. How you didn't know that? Everything that you see on the outside of you reflects your inner world. Everything is actually happening inside of you, but you just gotta pay attention to the universe a little bit more closer. You see, that's why I got the yin and yang tatted on my neck, because you are the moon and you are the sun. Take a closer look at my tattoo, y'all. It's fire, ain't it? But I'm getting off track right now. Let's get back talking about this moon, y'all. Now, me personally, I experienced some crazy things outside of my door when I started looking at the moon, y'all. Like, really started looking at it. Could y'all explain to me, like, how does something appear in the sky and then disappear and then appear again? Like, how does that happen? I know I'm not the only one who go outside and looks up in the sky and question the moon, bro. Like, come on. What if the moon is a holographic projection of our brain? What if what we see in the sky is actually not the moon, but it's like some construction base or something? Every time I start to turn my head and look up at the moon, it always disappears when I turn my head and look back at it. Like, how does that happen, bro? Cause y'all please explain that to me, bro. Like, I understand the moon represents feminine energy, but it's something else fishy about that moon that y'all don't know, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro, this is not a conspiracy theory. You just gotta start using your mind. You don't know what you're really looking at when you look up in that sky. That could be a holographic, bro. That could be not real. They already done told y'all a whole bunch of bullcrap stuff in school about some moon landing. Like, that ain't nobody never go to no dang moon, bro. Stop lying to them people enough. They don't want to tell y'all the real truth. The earth might be flat and we might be really living in a dome, y'all. I made a video about that. So if y'all want to go check that out, go check that out, man. And I also forgot to mention that the moon and the sun is going around each other. How is that possible? So technically, The Simpsons showed us that the moon and the sun is stuck inside the dome. You ever thought about how does the moon and the sun go around each other? I thought they told y'all in school that the sun and the moon cannot be out at the same time. But that's not what I see when I go outside. I be seeing the sun and the moon out at the same time. So please explain to me, how is that possible, y'all? Them teachers in that school been getting paid, a lot of y'all, bro. Cause I'm telling y'all, I'm putting y'all on game right now so y'all can know the full truth. And I also forgot to mention, have y'all ever seen this logo? You have, let me know down in the comments because I'm finna get deep. Disney Channel know dang well this is symbolism. It's something deep behind this picture, y'all. See how the little kid is on the moon and he got a fish hook in his hand? Now what is he fishing for, y'all? Really think about that. That's why I told y'all in the beginning of the video it was something fishy about that moon. I was just saying that so y'all can catch on to what I'm really talking about. Remember how they told y'all when you die don't go to the light? They talking about this light, the false light which is appearing in the sky, the moon. This picture right here literally looks like he's fishing for souls, y'all. Pay attention to it. If you went to Christianity and this video is going over your head, I'm sorry, I gotta put my chosen ones on because they need to know. Anyways, y'all stay woke and dangerous, gang. Love y'all. Follow me for more.
Dropping gems. That's crazy.
The earliest destination for New World copper and corn was the Middle East. Here we see a genie holding a corn cob. This Assyrian artifact dates to about 900 BC. Most doctrinaire scholars identify the seed pod as a pine cone. However, the artistic and agricultural context of the Assyrian civilization suggests that the genie is actually holding a cob of maize. Here's another example. Here's another one. McInerney says that the Assyrians were famous for growing huge supplies of grain, not for planting pine trees. Indeed, most of the items that we see in the hands of genies look more like corn cobs than they do pine cones. Illustration is from a Babylonian stone tablet. It shows two riders on horseback moving alongside parallel corn rows. 1000 BC. The genie on the left is from a stone slab in the British Museum. The Birdman on the right was sold at Sotheby's auction house in London. They date to a period from about 700 to 900 BC. In the middle is an example of the corn plant from another Babylonian tablet. Notice they are all very similar. Here is an example of the Babylonian tree of life. It is a tree of corn cobs. Each branch terminates in an ear of maize.
As I told you guys, these are corn deities, not aliens. We know the truth now.
Yeah, no lie. They say that Thoth, or, you know, I think that's how you say his name. They say he came from America as well, and he's the spreader of knowledge. So I'm pretty sure, you know, America is the true old world.
Died in a bizarre car accident in the Mar Vista neighborhood of Los Angeles. Initially, law enforcement suggested Ann was under the influence and acting erratically at the time of the accident. However, the final autopsy report from the LA County Medical Examiner clarified that Ann was not impaired by any substances and had no active substances in her system. Moving to Stephen Twitch, boss. He passed away on December 13th, 2022, and the official cause was declared a self-inflicted injury to the head. Fans are still deeply puzzled by this tragedy, and many doubt the official explanation. Here's what we know about Twitch's last day. On December 12th, he left his home on foot and checked into the Oak Tree Inn in Encino, Los Angeles, just a 15-minute walk from the house he shared with his wife, Allison, and their 3 children. The next day, Allison panicked when she noticed Twitch was gone while his car was still at home. She rushed to the local police station, insisting that Twitch's disappearance was alarming since he never went anywhere without his car. The police followed her back to check for clues. Shortly afterward, the motel where Twitch had checked in called the police to report that they had found him in the bathroom of his room. Despite the official cause of death, fans find it hard to accept that Twitch could have taken his own life, especially since he always appeared to be a genuinely happy person who loved his family deeply. Not too long before he passed, Twitch and Allison were openly thinking about adding another little one to the family. They also celebrated their wedding anniversary just 4 days before Twitch's tragic passing, and Twitch posted a sweet tribute to Allison on Instagram. It's important to remember that just because someone seems happy on the outside doesn't mean they're not struggling privately. Depressed people can be really good at hiding their struggles, even from those closest to them. On the other hand, a lot of people felt that something didn't quite add up about the official story of Twitch's death, especially concerning a mysterious note he supposedly left in the motel room. Initially, media reports claimed no note was found, but law enforcement sources later told TMZ that Twitch had left a note mentioning past challenges, though they didn't specify what those challenges were. Despite the note and the official autopsy report, many fans are still skeptical about the circumstances surrounding Twitch's death, finding it hard to believe that he would leave his family. Now that Ellen's friendship with Diddy is getting a lot of attention, some folks are wondering if Twitch was caught up in something shady. To be clear, there's no proof that Twitch was tight with Diddy or hit up any of his parties. But since Diddy was so close to Ellen and Twitch worked for her for nearly a decade, people can't help but speculate if Twitch knew more than what was safe about the duo.
Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
Could Twitch have stumbled upon something about Ellen and Diddy that pushed him to the edge?
Yo, was Twitch at the Diddy parties? That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
According to some fans, the similarities between
Not really,
Ellen and
I
Diddy
guess.
are pretty striking. Besides the rumors that Ellen used to go to Diddy's parties, there's chatter that they might be involved in some shady industry circle where all sorts of sketchy things happen behind the scenes. What do you think about this whole Ellen and Diddy connection and what happened to Twitch? Let us know all about it down in the comments section.
And
Hello, my name is Alfred Bielik, more commonly known as Al Bielik. Original family name is Edward Cameron. I have been involved in the Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk Project, time travel, alien connections of the Montauk Project, and some other projects, all of which have been secret over the years, most of which have never been declassified. I wound up in the 28th century, and this was in the time period of 2749 to 2751 AD. Talk about changes in civilization, society, and everything else. It was drastically changed from what we saw in 2137, as this is now 600 years later. The cities were enormous. The cities were beautiful. They had round-faced cities, much as we have always had them, but they also had something else. Floating cities due to anti-gravity techniques being perfected sufficiently that they could float an entire city, which was perhaps not as large as any of our current cities. It was round, or very nearly round, but it floated on this platform and they could move the city any place they wanted, remaining floating in the air, 4,000 or 5,000 feet above the ground perhaps, or a little less, depending on what they wanted. But the size of the city was vertical rather than horizontal, 2,200 stories high. That's about 2.5 miles. The cities could move anywhere on the planet. Basically, they stayed hovering and floating. Or if they didn't like a particular location, they moved somewhere else. There wasn't that much traffic in moving cities, I can assure you, because the world population in that era, the 28th century, was only 500 million, and I was instructed later that that was where they had held it for centuries. There would be no more than approximately 500 million population. Some of the features of this, let's start from the political standpoint. As I learned, all of these cities, whether they're ground-based cities, which the majority were, because they had to do manufacturing, they had to have agriculture and various other things to supply the needs of civilization. But all of them, whether floating or ground-based, were rather interesting in their governmental form. They had essentially no government. There's no government as we know it today. There was no money, there was no banks, there was no political jurisdictions, and there was resolved down to what would be best called a city-state structure, where the city is the state, and any other cities from that one are independent and operate in their own independent manner. So that was the major change there. There was no elected government, there was no appointed government, there was no government as we had ever seen it in the past. As I found out, each city was run by an intelligent computer, synthetic intelligence, synthetic consciousness, a highly radioactive crystalline structure. Who built them, I had no idea. Nobody seemed to know, but they've been there for hundreds of years. And this computer ran the entire city. There were guidelines set down, there were law books, but no courts. There were guidelines set down as to how you're to behave, what your parameters were. Within these parameters, if anything went, anything was not considered kosher within this realm, this parameter limit, would be expressed as a yellow zone, i.e. a zone that you don't want to go into and you don't want to become involved in that type of behavior. If you got out into that area, you were given an invite for a reprimand to the computer, which there was one in every city, running each city. You would literally be called in for, shall we say, an interview or an audience with the computer, and you would be advised that you had broken the law, but it wasn't considered a felony, it was a misdemeanor. Misdemeanor and such. If you were judged guilty, you were sent off to one of the work camps for whatever purpose they did in the work camps. It would be much like today, I presume, where any kind of labor, menial or otherwise, had to be done was done. And that was compulsory, that was not voluntary. If you were called in because you had gone outside the yellow zone into what is called the red zone, which is basically what you would today call a felony offense, you were immediately called in for an interview. You were examined, looked at, talked to, and if the computer at that point thought that you were rehabilitable, that you could learn again to be sociable and within the social bounds of normalcy, you were given one more chance. If the computer decided that you were not capable of fitting into society, you were terminated right then and there. Now, there were other people who didn't feel like they could fit into the society, but had not yet committed any of the so-called offenses. Literally, they were allowed to leave. If the word was, if you don't like it here, go live somewhere else. Go out in the boonies if you want. Live as a hermit. We don't care. And many did. I do not know what percentage. I was told that quite a lot of people had left the cities and gone out in the boondocks. Whether they formed communities or not, I never did find out. If you weren't required to work, which no one was required to, other than their social obligation, which was well inculcated into the kids, that you had an obligation to contribute to society, to pay for what you have been using and had inherited. for which no money was involved. A sort of credit system was still functional, but otherwise, except for fairly large credit purchases, if that is the right term, they didn't really keep track of very much. It was considered quite free as long as you were able to make some contributions and nobody overloaded the system with demands. That happened very seldom, that there was an overload of demand for goods or services. So as a result of that, there was very little abuse of the system. Now, in this period of time, talking with many people, making friends, I had a number of questions. Who built this computer system? That was my first and foremost question. Who maintains it? What happens when it breaks down? Very common questions. No common answer. Very much uncommon answers. First question about the cities, who built them, who maintains them, who maintains the computers, it's rather hard to answer and get an answer to. No one really knew much about the history of the construction of the city or how it ran, other than the computer, and you couldn't request an interview. You couldn't request to go in and ask questions. The aspect of how these computers communicated with each other was unknown, but it did make, the one I talked with did make a number of interesting statements over a period of time. They have been around for about 250 years in this format and this system.
So first off, do y'all believe in time travelers? If so, let me know down below. Because if all of what he's saying is true, that would be crazy. And it seems like we're kind of leaning towards that path already, doesn't it? You know, with the AI and, you know, I think, you know, eventually as it gets smarter and smarter, it will be able to control and run cities. I think they're trying to do that already, right? The 15-minute smart cities or whatever they call them, you know, run by AI. We getting there, y'all.
En el mismo lugar de la Antártida donde se registraron el día del eclipse. Les cuento. Resulta que el famoso radar de mareas de la página Ventusky o Ventusky ha vuelto a registrar anomalías similares a las del día del eclipse. No una, sino dos veces más, el 25 y el 27 de abril. Lo único es que esta vez...
I don't speak Spanish, so I can't.
Have you guys heard of the random staircases that lead nowhere in the national parks? I just want to state this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm going to show you a video clip, and then we're going to talk about it.
Conspiracy time. I believe that some very heavily guarded secrets are located inside state and national parks.
Wow.
Hear me out. So I'm a supervisor at a state park. I have keys to almost every building. I have access code to almost every gate. I have access to places in the park that staff aren't allowed to go, and I have access to the park where general public is not allowed to go. You cannot fly drones over top this park, as well as many other parks. There is a very heavy undercover presence here, and I know that for a fact.
Wow.
There has been numerous times where large portions of the park were shut down due to archaeological reasons, and there has been numerous instances where certain parking lots were completely shut down and filled with National Guard and military vehicles. There are animals back here that are not supposed to be here. Like last year, I actually saw a lemur in the state park in Florida. There are reports of exotic animals that are not supposed to be here. When they're reported to us, we told to tell them that is because there is exotic breeders just outside the park and sometimes those animals get out. Is that true? I don't know. Going down the rabbit hole in the state parks and out in the wilderness, there have been reports of staircases. Just random staircases out in the forest. Yeah, staircases. Leading to nowhere. Look it up. So yeah, I believe that there's things being...
Here's what I found. What is the stairs in the woods forest? The fundamental explanation for the phenomena of the stairs in the woods is that they are escalators that rise from the ground to the sky. The mysterious stairs are usually seen in the night and look like they have not been constructed in the woods. There is no other building or structure around it. Over the years, the mysteries of the United States national parks have come to life. People regularly missing in these parks. There were also innumerable accounts of cryptids and aliens. Spontaneous human burning in the national park has even been recorded. Stories of walkers who come across mysterious staircases add to its foreshadowing and atmosphere. The legend suggests that hikers who explore the national park sometimes find whole steps randomly put in the forest which reach up to the city at different heights. These stairs seem like someone cut a step out of a building and pasted it in the woods. Now, this was on a TV show many years ago called Channel Zero, but let's continue. There is no one else in the neighborhood. Only a single staircase leads to none. Some report that staircases were placed upside down on the ground. While most of the stair stories are of the USA national parks, people worldwide have begun to recount their stories of mysterious staircases located deep in the forest. The staircases do not seem to be found in the pattern. Some of who uncovered them have also found evidence of tombs in the vicinity. Now, this totally reminds me of this show called Channel Zero Butcher Block, and this girl moves into this neighborhood, and there's a park close by, but not a national park, and she finds a random staircase. This one, the show is very interesting, but absolutely disturbing. Ultimately, in the show, it leads to another dimension, and you know what they say? They tell us in the movie. Again, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Could the stairs be remnants of a lost civilization? I don't know. Could they lead to another dimension? I guess it's possible. Could these stairs be the remnants of a lost civilization? No, because some of them appear to be new in structure. As the article said, I'm just saying what the gentleman is saying that's the supervisor and what the article I found said. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, share, comment, follow, duet.
Yeah, what do y'all think, man? First off, if you see some stairs like that in the forest, are you going to go up the stairs or not? I don't know. I don't think I'm messing with it. What if those stairs were from like a UFO or something, right? And the UFO is cloaked, but then it puts the stairs out there trying to see if you'll come up to the stairs. And then it takes you somewhere. I don't know, man. It could be anything. I really don't know. I need to look into that. But yeah, these are some of the most creepy and bizarre TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on. And until next time, YouTube, peace.